Gossip Talk Show's family. And how are you guys? Carol Ann, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. And you?
Awesome, 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 awesome. And our topic today is what lies beyond our struggles, unveiling the strength and resilience within. So on this topic today, we will explore how individuals can rise above their struggles and adversities to discover their hidden strength and resilience, transforming hardship into sources of personal growth and empowerment. Carol Ann, you chose this topic. Would you mind to explain a little bit what was the motivation behind the topic, please?
Um, yeah, I was sort of going through and I'd spend a lot of time. Nearly got to a point last night where I was going to say, I don't know, Nomsa, you choose. You choose a topic. I can't think. My brain was just going round and round. And then I just sort of scrolling through a few things. And this one just sort of jumped out, sort of beyond the struggles, unveiling the strength and resilience within. So, yeah, what lies beyond our struggles? And I just thought, at the moment, I feel I'd love to know, because even though I sort of know, I feel there's something more for me to know, because I feel like there's something I know there's something I'm struggling with at the moment. And it's, you sort of reach a point where you think, oh, what is all this about? You know, these struggles, these tough challenges that come. And sometimes you start to think, yeah, what is all this about? So I thought, let's have a look at this. It spoke to me. So I thought, okay, let's go for it. What did you see when you saw it?
I know there's the struggles of life. What you're saying, what is this all about? I was just, before I came on, I was reading my question. I was studying my qualitative research. And this question of what is this all about, it came up as well. That sometimes there's a point where a human being will ask themselves, what's the heck? What is this all about? So I was asking what kind of a question it is. So anyway, life is a journey filled with ups and downs, joys and sorrow, triumph and challenges as well. And it is the incredible about struggles in life. What makes life exciting, what makes the struggles exciting as well, is that we can often find ourselves questioning our strength and resilience. Or sometimes some people, when they are questioning their strength and resilience, they can they will fall, and then some, when they fall, they get up. So however, on this video, so we are going to seek the light on this incredible journey of the topic that Carol Ann chose for us, and also the challenges. Sometimes it can. I was talking about it yesterday, how sometimes the challenges, when they are presented to us, they are not, sometimes we can see them as struggles or whatever the problem that is presented to us. We can see it as a struggle, but sometimes it's not a struggle. I actually had a struggle with my research last month. I couldn't submit my research because I sent my approval for the university to approve my research, and the email got ignored. My email got lost through the emails. And when I was running out of time, so I emailed them and I was like, you actually have not returned my emails, or you've not approved my research. And they were very apologetic. So I had to extend my exams to another block. But now that I was choosing another block, then I decided to choose three exams instead of two, so that I don't run behind. So because to me it was a struggle that I was going through that moment. I didn't see it as a struggle, just said to myself, whatever happens, let it be. So when I was actually having a chat today with my tutors, then I realized actually the other exams that I have chosen, the module that I have chosen, is not as hard as I thought it would be. It's all to do with the research, but it's not going to be hard. But now I'm realizing that if I didn't extend the other date for the exams, I would not have challenged myself to actually pick 3 modules instead of 2. So now I'm realizing that at the time I thought it was a challenge, but now I'm realizing it hasn't been a challenge. Actually, it has pushed me to do something that I wouldn't have done. And also now my strength is making me realize my strength and my weaknesses as well. So next time, when the struggles are presented to me, I'm just going to welcome them with grace, not with fear. Because at the time I was fearing the research project, it was very, very hard. And I was fearing that I'm going to run out of time, I'm going to be behind. And I just need, when you want to submit things, you want that perfection, and you feel with that you've been let down. So those are the emotions that were there at the time. But now I'm realizing next time, I just need to actually see the challenges as not a struggle, but as something that pushed me to actually go to the next level. What is my camera doing? What do you think, Carol Ann?
Giving you a challenge.
Yes.
Something. And I love that, what you ended up doing, you actually communicated, you got in communication.
Yeah.
You talked it through, you found a solution, and you realized that actually you can do it. And it isn't about fearing, it's recognizing what you're fearing.
Yeah.
Because the fear will drive you, and that's what will stop you. When you can realize that and let go of the fear and just embrace what you're present to, you can rise above it. And that's, what I hear you. So you're doing 3 instead of 2 now, and it's challenging you, and it's great, but you're rising to the challenge. You're finding resourcefulness. That's what you find, resourcefulness within you to find a way through, and also realizing that actually you are capable. And I think this is where these challenges and these struggles come, is to show us what is within us, what is possible. And these challenges and struggles come in all sorts of guises. For you in this particular moment was to do with your university work. And for others, there's all sorts of things that show up. There's loss and grief, there's mental health, financial hardships. You lose your job, you go bankrupt, you lose your house, because you run out of money. I mean, the challenges that they present themselves might be health issues. And for me at the moment, it's my health that is really dogging me. It's testing me to the utmost in trusting the process that I'm going through, because of how I'm feeling physically, where my body's at the moment. And I'm going, I don't know. Can I see this through? Why didn't I do X, Y, Z, years ago? But I chose this journey. And so I'm not doing the exercise that I ought to be doing.
You need mana water, Carol Ann.
Sorry?
You need mana water.
Yeah, I need what?
You need mana water.
Mana water?
Have you heard of mana water?
What's mana water? What's that?
I'll send it to you. You need strength.
Yes, there's some strength. It's But I do know I keep just praying on it, asking for guidance, working with it, and people have shown up, different techniques have shown up, and I'm just going, okay, I just keep going with this. But you see, maybe there's relationship problems. You know, you and I have both been through divorce. You've come out that and you found another relationship. I'm in a position where I thought maybe I do. It took me many years before I even thought I actually wanted to be in another relationship. And now it's like, okay, if the person shows up, it would be nice. So the challenge for me is actually allowing that to happen in some way. Family conflicts, you know, is there things happening with the family? Experiences are quite traumatic. Maybe there's an accident, there's violence, there's abuse, there's something, you know, even political and social unrest. There's so many things. Immigration and refugee challenges. I mean, that's just educational and career obstacles. There's the one, yours, educational, you know, what challenges. And at any age, you can have a challenge. Because when you think educational, it's not just children that have those issues and challenges as they're going through school and out the other side. They're going to careers and jobs, but they might go on to university. But even when you're older, so like you're doing, obviously, you're doing a degree, and you don't need to, what's the word? It's not that you don't need to. This whole myth about if you don't do it when you know you've got the opportunity when you just after you leave school, you'll never do it, or you're too old to study. You know, it's like rubbish, absolute rubbish. At any age, you can go back and study, and you'll find actually that maturity that you've got, there'll be something that takes you through, and you probably have more ability then to do it than you did previously. So you're never too old to go back and study and learn something. And it's something that I keep saying, I said I want to do. At first, I thought I wasn't up to doing a degree. I did degree in maths, got my Bachelor of Science in maths, but actually to do a master's or a PhD is something I'm going, oh, I don't know. But I've seen some courses I want to do, and I've got a research project that I want to follow through with. And my challenge is actually funding it as well, and also all the beliefs that whether I can be up to this. So it's like a plethora of challenges, all different strengths, different degrees of impact on you. But nonetheless, they're all a challenge, and it is how do you rise to it? How do you develop that resilience to bounce back? And this is what you find. If you can sit and face it, so like you did, Namsa, one of the things is reaching out, having a conversation with someone, seeking support or even professional help. That's being resourceful. So that's what you found within yourself, resourcefulness. And I found strength within me to keep going. I never thought I'd be able to survive past divorce. You know, it was like, that's why I hung on to my marriage for so long. But actually, almost 24 years later, I'm still, you know, I'm still here. I'm still bouncing around. I've survived everything that's happened. So it's that finding resourcefulness within you. It helps you to develop that. And as we said before, you've got a choice. You can either just sink in, or you can rise to that. Because there is a phrase and a saying that, something I've discovered, the universe never gives you anything that you don't have the wherewithal to deal with it. You don't have the resources or or a way of actually dealing with it. Someone you know that can support you. So just remember that. Even in the toughest times when you're thinking, oh my goodness, I can't deal with this. Why have I been given this to do? You're not given anything that you don't have the resources to deal with or the ability to deal with. And I love what Bob Marley says. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. How cool is that, eh? Yeah. What do you think with that one?
I love that, Carol Ann, what you're saying, that you're never too old to actually do things, because some people, they making excuses saying, I can't do this because I'm this, I can't do this, I can't do this. I have 2 children and I have a business to run. And I'm still studying. I've decided that I'm just gonna get more, do more research and psychology, and just get to know, so I can help my clients more. And that requires hard work. Sometimes I go to bed at 2 a.m. Sometimes I go to bed at 10. So it depends with if I'm doing the work, like now I took advantage of the website is not being up. So I was like, let me just do my studying more.
Yeah.
And so it depends with if you really want something, you will find a way to do it. Like Tony Robbins says, you will find a way. So that's what I believe, that no matter how much you struggle in life, there's always going to be a way for you to actually find that joy through sorrow. There will be, success and failure. They're both linked together. In order for you to succeed and embrace that success, you got to know what failure means. So the struggles, they are not like failure. We see them as a failure, but they're not. When we struggle, we intend to say, you know what, I'm struggling, I'm this. So I've learned to actually embrace everything, because the more I go through these struggles, the more I understand myself, the more opportunities are presented to me, the more I rediscover myself, self-discovery. And also we have to learn, how do we nurture these struggles that we have, like Carol Ann was saying, going through divorce. So how can you nurture that divorce? And also, how can you take a step forward when problems are pulling you back? So those are the things that we need to learn. And every person, every individual, they face different hardship when it comes to life. We face different roadblocks. Like Carol Ann, you mentioned the healthy crisis. So all those things that people, they face all these different things, but there's everything that is being presented to us. For me, I've learned something the hard way, that if I didn't have the problems that were presented to my life, I wouldn't have pushed myself to be where I am today. And I always say to myself, if my mom and dad didn't divorce, maybe I would have become something else. I would have become a doctor. Or I would have became maybe professional musician. I'll be dead by now, maybe, because because of, when I was young, Carol Anna, when my granddad trained me, when I became professional, there was this fear. And I would be like, I would have taken this success and it would have gone out of my head. But I chose a different path. And I said to my family, I don't want, there's some things that I need to experience in life. So I just needed to travel. I just changed completely. And my dad was very, very supportive. So there are so many things I always look, because like, I don't remember my parents' divorce because I was very young. But if I would have looked at it and maybe affected me, I wouldn't have been here. Or even if my mom, they stayed together with my dad, my life would have been completely, completely different. So the only profession that I see I would have taken the path, I would have become either as doctor, psychologist, or I would have become a lawyer. Those are the two things that if I would have like had to take a job, those are my jobs that I would have taken, because I would have loved, or maybe a judge as well, honestly, because I would have loved those jobs. So maybe those jobs I would have loved to do. But the problem with my parents, and then looking at my parents having two homes, and I actually refused to go to secondary school. And I said to my mom and my dad, my stepdad, I don't know why they trusted me, these people. And I was like, I just need to experience life. And I said to my stepdad, you always talk about how we should find our own path. So I was like, let me find my own path. And he was like, what do you need from me? I was like, I don't know, support. If you can support me. And he did that. My stepdad supported me to travel. And those were struggles. Through that travel, there were struggles that I had to face as well. But I found courage to hold on. There were times where I needed to go home to my parents, but then I had to find the courage to hold on. And then I hold on to that and found breakthrough. You always find a way, whether it's health, whether you're struggling with health, there's always a way to, if you need healing, there is always a way. If you need it, you can, if you are a Christian like me, you can pray for healing, or you can eat the right food. Do you eat lots of garlic, Carol Ann? Yeah,
Yeah, I
garlic,
do like garlic. Yeah.
dark chocolate,
No, I
raw,
don't.
or dark chocolate or raw chocolate.
Yeah, it's good for you. I don't actually eat that much. That no.
Yeah, raw olive oil,
Mm-hmm.
olives and olive oil, just whatever you do, just make sure, and honey, put honey on your bread,
Okay, I don't eat much
on
bread.
your toast.
I don't eat toast. I've cut bread.
Okay, you
Yeah.
cut bread. Yeah, you can. How can you cut bread? You know, bread is bread of life. You have to eat one slice of bread for blessing.
It doesn't do my body any good at all.
Oh no! So you can't even eat one bread, one slice a day?
No, oh gosh, no. No, I get bloated, I get bound up, and it doesn't do me any good at all. I find if I don't eat bread, occasionally I might have an odd slice and I enjoy it, but my body doesn't agree with me. Not at the moment. So there are certain breads that are better than others. So I'm sort of becoming aware of that.
Okay, you have to find the one that you can eat. One slice or half a slice. Bread is a bread of life for blessings in the Bible.
Yes, yeah.
So get to have a little bit of it, or maybe just tiny.
Just tiny. Okay,
just
okay.
tiny.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah, just tiny.
Bread. I will have a look around and bread of life.
Yeah, it's bread of life. You have to, yeah, you can do that. I stopped eating bread, but then when I was talking to my brother, because my brother he has a church, so he loves giving me some advice. So he was like, eat bread. And I was like, okay, I'll eat bread. He was like, eat bread every day, even tiny little bit of bread. Bread is the bread of life in the Bible. Read the scriptures. It's like, okay, say.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, and also we have to embrace embracing vulnerability is very, very important through times of struggles. When the struggles rises because the lying bare fears, doubts, and insecurities when we go through these struggles. So it's good to discover your true authenticity through that and connect with others in a deeper level. But it's sometimes when you have problems, there will be times where you see who your family really are and your friends are when you go through these struggles. I have gone through struggles with my life, and there were times where I realized that actually that's why there's a saying of when you meet somebody, never judge them, or when you don't know what they are going through. So when you go through those things, and make sure you surround yourself with the right people. Just one person that can support you, because sometimes people make things worse. I've seen it where people, like, sometimes when somebody has a problem, I saw there was 4 years ago, somebody was going through something, I don't want to say who, and this person, she was going through something, but then there were some things that people were saying. So I was like, when somebody has a problem, they don't think properly. All you need to do, you guys, you need to support. Because when you support someone, they know that you have their back. But when you blame, honestly, when you blame, that's not support. So I had to tell my spouse off because they were blaming somebody, ganging up on somebody. And I was like, blaming somebody, it does not make sense when somebody is going through. So it's like, when somebody is going through, they can't think properly. Sometimes all they do, sometimes the people might say wrong everything that they do. But all you can do is you have to stay in the present moment and support them and ask them what you can do for them. Because, the moment, I'm not sure, Carol Ann, whether you've noticed, it's like, it's easy to say, like Rachel, what she was going through with the talk show. Sometimes she was moving a house and stuff. We had to support her. We know we know she's our girl. We know that. But when somebody is going through that process, it's easy for them to forget the good the person has done. And then we switch off completely straight away, and then we focus on the negativity. So the reason why I'm sharing this is whenever you go through struggle, don't forget the good things that you had, or the blessings that you have had through life, and focus on the negativity. For me, what keeps me going is gratitude. Gratitude helps me to get to climb the mountain. When the mountain is presented to me, I'm like, okay, mountain, I see you, I hear you, but God gave me life. He chose me as Nomsa Clara Mube Ngosi to be on this earth. So I'm not going to cry or get sad because you've been presented to me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at the things that I can change. And those I can change, I'll work on them. But those I can't change, God will take them. I'm not going, that's my attitude towards life. Honestly, I have been like this since I was very young. And sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, is there any normality about me? Sometimes because it is easy, when you have a life, you breathe, you get up every day. It's beautiful. It's life. Life is beautiful. And when you keep testifying that life is beautiful, when the problems are presented, you will be able to climb the mountain. very, very easy. But if you, because the distraction, the feeling sorry, why am I, how do I have to go through this, and the anxiety is all a distraction. That's how I see it. And I've learned it from this energy that entered me 2016, when he was how I felt, how he treated me, and I was like, so this is how God and this is how Lucifer works. But now I don't allow anything. If I'm going through problems, I don't stay there too long.
Mm.
I just, if I have to call God, and if I have to really, really cry out and just pray and say, you know what, I don't want to stay in these struggles. That's why I was saying, I've got to send you're saying you're struggling with the health problems. I've got to send you the mana water. Yeah, I had my website designer, he kept telling me, oh, my mom is in hospital, my mom is this. So I sent him a prayer, and I was like, take this prayer, just take the water and close the water, or go and buy the water. Don't open it, and just play this, my pastor praying. And I need your mom out of the hospital, and I need you to get on with my website.
Yes.
And within a week, his mom was out of the hospital, and she's drinking mana water, and he's doing the work. So this water works. So he's doing the work. It's just, you can do it yourself. It's just the beliefs.
Yeah.
If you believe in something and you believe in healing, your words are very, very powerful. So that's what I've learned about life, that the words we speak, the strength we have, a human being has so much strength you can never imagine.
Mm.
So don't let the struggles hold you back. Whatever you go through in life, find strength and resilience through within, and then you will conquer whatever. I know people might say, Nomsa, it's easy said than done, but you have to practice it. Once you practice, you will fall and get up, fall and pick yourself up, and there will be times where you will refuse to fall, and then you'll be speaking my language.
Mm.
Over
Yeah, and
to you, Kiro Ann.
and sometimes we have to get to rock bottom before we can find a way up. You know, it's like you get down and you go down and you're going, oh God, how much further down can I go? And there will reach a point that it'll turn. It's having that faith and that belief, and that's where going through something like this helps you to find that inner strength, that faith. And it is about embracing a growth mindset. So one of the things with a growth mindset is, as you were saying, Namsa, gratitude. What can you be grateful for in what is happening? Look for, like, it's the silver lining. And there's always a silver lining. It's being able to reframe what's actually going on. Look at it in a different perspective. And if you do that, and the gratitude comes in, there's like a lifting of your soul. There's a lifting of your mind, your body, your energy. And it helps to give you that resilience to bounce back and keep going. So we've talked about growth mindsets before. You know, are you going to just stick and wallow? Or are you going to look for opportunity to get out of the mire? Look for, well, what is the lesson here? What is it I'm meant to be learning? And if you're still not getting out of it, it's like, well, what else is there for me to learn? I know there's been many a time, well, okay, what is it? What else is there for me to learn? And yes, you can be exasperated, you can be angry, and it's okay to feel those emotions. And it's important to, because if you stuff them down, that's where they get congealed within the body. And again, that's where physical illness comes in. But if you can express them healthily, have a shout and a scream at the universe, at the Lord, and then go, okay, what is it I need to do? What is it I haven't yet learnt? What is it I haven't yet done that I'm meant to do? And then just sit and be quiet. And the answer will always come. But it's finding that ability to do that and that trust. So again, for me, trust and patience have been my biggest lessons. And maybe a lot of other people will say the same. Oh yeah, trust and patience. For other people, there'll be other lessons. That is their biggest lesson to learn on this, in this physical reality. And something that Albert Camus says, in the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me lay an invincible summer. I read that this morning. I thought, wow, what a beautiful picture. In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me lay an invincible summer. Invincible summer. And it's just remembering things like that. Look for some quotes to support you. If you're going sinking down and you can't shift your thoughts, it's, oh, why me? Why is this happening? I don't know if I can deal with this anymore. I really don't have the strength. Again, it's embracing a growth mindset. Look up some quotes, because there are some great quotes out there that can help you think. And I love that one, that just paint a picture of possibility and just sit and savor it. Speak it out. Write it out. Write out what you're going through, because actually writing it out can also help. And then find a quote that speaks to what you're doing. Write it out, say it. Arnold Schwarzenegger says, strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. So again, redefine your meaning of the word strength. It's not about being strong and physically strong. It's just going, I am not giving in. I'm going to keep going. I will find a way. I know I can find a way. And that's a growth mindset. It's having that openness, that determination. And sometimes our mind can, I know a few weeks ago, I was quite ill, and my brain just wasn't functioning. My eyes hurt every time I opened them. And I really got to a point where I was going, I can't deal with this anymore. Do I really want to? I just wanted to give everything up. And I just kept going each day and just let my body rest. And then something shifted. And I felt like, when you say a fever breaks, it felt like something broke within me. And I realized there'd been this storm inside, maybe a bit like a fever, but through my head, a really sore throat, scratchy. But I woke up the next morning with this thought, oh, feels like something's broken. I opened my eyes. They didn't hurt. My head started, my brain was functioning. I had a little bit of clarity, and it was like, oh. And all of a sudden, I was able to start picking myself up again. It still took about another week before I was fully clear, but it just shifted. So things can change. Sometimes things take longer than others. And I think this is where I'm having the struggle with my physical body at the moment, because it's been so many years now with this particular aspect that's going on. I'm going, really, again, it's that, how much longer? What do I need to do? What haven't I done? Is it actually going to work? And trusting the process. But as you said, Namsa, there's always a way. And those words reminded me. So thank you for saying them, because many, many years ago, when my 18-year-old granddaughter was only a baby, I remember sitting with her in my arms, just cradling her, feeling so low. But that action of cradling a baby, there's something really magical. And in that moment, I found myself saying a poem. And there's always a way. There's always a way to get out of the dark. No matter how black, no matter how stark, there's always a way to get out of the dark. And then it carried on, and I found myself then writing even more later on. But those few lines stayed with me. And I even put a little tune to them as well. And that kept me going for such a long time afterwards. So do remember, there's always a way to get out of the dark. No matter how black, no matter how stark, there's always a way to get out of the dark. And find the way, and that's where it carries on to something else. And so, yes, thank you for that reminder, Namsa, because that is important for people to remember. And, you know, also you said something about embracing vulnerability. Don't shut yourself away. I shut myself away when I was completely out of it. Oh, many, many, many years ago. My knee blew up like a balloon. My head, neck and shoulders locked tight. I literally had the curtains closed. And I remember later, quite a bit later, speaking to a neighbour who said she'd heard I wasn't well. But when she walked by and saw the curtains closed, she thought, or maybe she didn't like to disturb me, because she thought perhaps I didn't want anyone to come. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, I would have loved for her to pop in. So where are you closing off the curtains and stopping people from coming to see you? Just open them up. And that's that opening up vulnerability. It's reaching out. It's allowing people in to support you. Because that, again, is another quicker way of getting through this. So certainly vulnerability, open up, share what's going for you. There's no disgrace in sharing what's happening for you. There's no shame. And if that's what you're feeling ashamed, you're feeling, oh God, they're going to think there's all sorts of things that you might be thinking where they're putting you down. Stop. Is that the truth, or is that your own story that you're telling yourself? You might be pleasantly surprised. And so I think this is where my learning here is that being vulnerable in terms of saying and speaking out more about my physical health now. I've spoken a lot about my journey to becoming a writer. And I think it's now time to speak about my physical journey, about what's got me to where I am now with the physical thing that's going on with my body as it is. Share it rather than going, oh, no, I can't, So certainly vulnerability. That's a great point, Namsa.
Yeah, you got to trust. I love it, Carol, and when you say we have to trust, because sometimes when we have problems, it's easy for us to forget to trust God, trust the universe. I don't know who you believe, and I don't know. You can trust life. If you don't believe in God, trust life that is working for you. Because what happens is when we lose trust and when we lose hope in life, that's when everything goes wrong. And I like it, Carol Ann, when you say when you go through a hardship, decide not to surrender. And I think that's my motto. That's my attitude. I don't surrender through hardship. When I'm going through problems, the more I want life more and more and more and more. And sometimes I know that sometimes when my family go through problems, I look at them and I wish that I can share my energy with them so they can fight these battles that they fight. But I can't. But you have to, what you need to do in order to be able to have the attitude of being a fighter and finding strength and resilience, just do what I do. The gratitude, like I said before, for me is just is what keeps me going. When I'm grateful of things and when I accept things, there's power of acceptance as well. When you accept things as they are, and when I'm saying accept, I'm not saying surrender to them. You accept, but then you refuse to fall. And when you do that, you have to understand that by embracing whatever the struggles that are happening in that moment, you are opening your heart and your mind to cultivate resilience and ability to move forward with grace. But then if you don't accept it, and then there's, if you blame and say, oh, why am I the person that keeps having problems? You have problems. I used to have problems before. It was the life of my story. I will solve this one and then this one will appear. But now I'm in a point where I've learned how to fight my battles. I've learned how to find strength where there is no hope. I've learned to find hope. I've learned to have faith when it comes to life. When my website wasn't working, my website has not been working for 6 weeks. I've said to myself, okay, all these things, I've shared this yesterday, all these things that are happening, my website is not working. There are some things that I have always wanted to do, make some improvement on the website. So I was like, yeah, I kept talking about it in my heart, but I've never had the opportunity to do it. So maybe it is time for me to do it. So through that 6 weeks, I've written my book and I finished it. And I think it's, which is about what I do, about the work, what I do. And also there's so many things that I have looked at myself and I have accomplished through that strength. I've not sat back and said, the website is not working, this. And it's just been an amazing journey with joy, with sorrow, but I'm just embracing life. That's what keeps me going, just embracing life, that I am living on this earth. So I'm just going to enjoy the life that I want to enjoy. Because the way I understand it, when we talk about paradigm, I was reading about paradigm with my psychology module. Paradigm, you have to create that life through that you get to decide. Life is an option. Life has options. I was watching Tony Robbins and Dean Grazias yesterday, and they had this guy, Percy, what's his surname? I've forgotten his surname. And he mentioned about life is an option. And he said at the time he didn't have education, and he watched the houses, the area, neighborhood where is owned by doctors, is owned by lawyers, is owned by these amazing people that we call them amazing. So he said he wished that he was like one day. And he said through struggles, he's one of 9. And through those struggles with family being raised, you get told you got to work hard. So he said that's why he got told. And he said when he started to get into the business, and he said he had 300 followers on Instagram. And when he had 300 followers on Instagram, he is into real estate. So he said somebody helped him. So, and then he decided to help others. So he said he used to invite people to come to his meeting and stuff on Instagram, Facebook, and no one turned up for the first day. It was just him, and then he was like taking video on his phone, and saying, "Look, people behind me." And he said, "Guess what? There was nobody behind me." It was a struggle. He didn't give up, and he said the following time when he arranged a meeting, 6 people turned up. So he was like, at least there were 6 people. Now we did the same. And then he said the following time he arranged a meeting, there was 60 something people. And he was showing us that building that I saw with my son, and he said he owns those buildings now. And I was like, that is an amazing story. So, every struggle that we go through, we have to find a way of breakthrough. We have to look at it and accept the situation in the way it's going and just create a framework. How can we have this framework where it can get us out of these struggles and take us to that breakthrough? It's not easy, but with the right people as well. That's why it's important to have good friends, good like coaches. You have to surround yourself with people who can motivate you to get to where you need to be. Because if you have friends that don't want you to succeed, so how are you able to move forward? And so it's very, very, very important when it comes to life. I prefer to have one friend than to have too many that are fake. Every friend that I have, they are playing a part in my life, and I'm playing a big part in their lives. They are my family. So just when you choose your friends, choose your friends, you have to know that you're unique, you're special. Don't choose friends because of what they have or because what they can do for you. Choose them because they earn the right to be your friends. I chose God because he earned the right to be in my life, because he chose me. So I chose him as well. And I chose the friends that I have because those people earned the right to be in my life. The person that we are in a relationship, we choose them because they align with what we want, where we need to be. And when the struggles are presented, you are able to share those struggles with people. And you are able, even with the coach, even if you don't want to have friends, just have somebody that can help you take your life to the next level. I have people like I've had Desmond O'Connor as my coach since 4 years ago. There's a reason why Des is my coach. I need somebody that I can rely on. I need somebody that is loyal. When you have problems is where you see who your real friends are. Like now the website my website was put down with Des and his coach and with the issues, but he came through to me and said, "Nomsa, I will pay for the website. Just tell me what you need. I will connect you with the website designer. He will design the website that you want." And that person is no longer, I don't see him as my coach, he's part of my family. So it's just relationship that you need. If I feel like I'm actually willing to keep him as a part of my family, I don't just have one coach. I have other people that I hang out with, or just to hang out, or sometimes if I want something, I ask. But Des is part of, like, he's managing the company. It's like if I need to be motivated, I know with him he's very strict with me anyway. So if I need someone who's softer, I just talk to my friends, coaches who are my friends. But sometimes I get people. And, like Carol Ann, I don't know if you've ever get somebody. I know you are with, what's his name? GTEx.
Oh, Simone Vincenzi.
I like that guy. I don't know why, but I like him. He's the one who got me to be a 9-time matchmaking awards. Yeah, he's the one. I watched his webinar once. He just opened the whole thing about my business. Yeah, I like him. I don't know why I like him anyway. Yeah.
Do you need to know why?
Yeah, he hangs out with Des and Eunice. I like them. They're a bunch of nice people. So when you choose friends, it's like you have to choose, surround yourself with the right people is very, very important. And when you surround yourself with the right people, it's not what you can get from those people. You have to have an attitude of adding value to them, and they will add value to you unknowingly. But if you create a relationship based on what you can get to somebody, it doesn't work. For me, it's something that I have learned the hard way. When I'm connecting with somebody, first, my soul is connecting with that person, not what I can get. I just listen to their story, and I know they align with my values and my beliefs, and I want to hang out with them. And once you do that, whatever you go through in struggles in life, know that you are not alone. There are some people that believe that they are alone when they go through problems. You are not alone. I've learned that the hard way. Everything that I go through in life, whether you're a Christian, some people are not Christian, so I'm talking to my Christians out there. God is always there. As long as you are willing to call him out, and as long as you are willing to surrender and humble yourself and tell him, forgive me. But right now, I need to get to where I need to be, but there's this roadblock that I don't understand. I need power, I need strength to go on. That's my prayer. My prayer is very straightforward. What I need, I tell him straight away. I need power. I need power to give me strength, which is share your energy. God, give me strength to go on, because at this moment, I can't go on my own, and I cannot depend on friends. I cannot depend on family members. They might let me down because they are flesh. If you depend on the flesh will always let you down. So for him, I know he will never let me down. And that way, he will show me the way. But sometimes it might be the way that I don't like.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Sometimes it might be the way that I don't like. So I'm like, why does it have to be complicated? Or sometimes, Carol Ann, maybe you just have to go and help somebody else for your blessings to just, I've seen it myself where I go through struggle and then somebody turns up. They're going through similar problems that I'm going through, but I don't look at myself as, you know what, I'm going through problems. All I say is, what part do you want me to play? And then I get on with it. And I find my problems are gone. So I'm like, oh, is that how life is?
Yeah. That is certainly a solution, and that can help you, is actually helping somebody else. It takes you out of your problem, but actually you find that there's something in doing that. There is something that they're going through that actually helps you. And as you say, yours all of a sudden, it just seemed to dissipate. And something else you were saying about you're not on your own.
No.
It's so easy to sink into this, I'm on my own. And that's where I used to spend quite a bit of time, feeling completely on my own, nobody around. And now I can go there, but now I can remind myself, no, it's that person, And I'm aware that there are people around me now, and I can get back to that much more quickly. I sort of dip into it, but then I come out much more quickly. So it is getting to that point where you recognize, if you're getting to that point of, oh, there is nobody around, ask yourself, is that the truth? Is that really the truth?
No, it's not.
Who actually is around?
Yeah.
And they might not physically be with you, because I think that was where I was getting. It's like, well, they're not physically here. They're, a long way away, or I've got a ring, or they're busy, or this story. But there's always your higher self. There's always God.
Yeah.
Put up that prayer. And there is always somebody. You can start sending text messages. I found that texting someone, and that doesn't matter whether I get a reply straight away, just the action of texting a friend where I'm at in that moment, that helped enormously. And whether they got back or not, it didn't matter. And sometimes they would, and sometimes it might be a bit later. But it was just that action of reaching out, because realizing there is someone else out there. So certainly, be aware of that. Learn from your setbacks is really key. And so one other thing I'd love to leave you with is, just looking at the time, our time is sort of going zip through again. It's amazing. Actually find humor. Bring some humor into it. What could you laugh about, or what could you find funny, or just go and look at something that's humorous, but bring in laughter, bring in humor, and find that there, because that in itself will lift you up. If you can find that chuckle button and have a jolly good old chuckle, again, that's a way of lifting you out of that space, shifting your energy and your vibration. So something, oh, that's right. Haruki Murakami says, when you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. That's what the storm's all about. So, just recognize that. And it is a journey. It is an adventure. Find a way of enjoying it. As hard as it might be. It is just to find a way and find that support. So you can find me on Facebook, Carol Ann Cooper, LinkedIn. I also have a Facebook group called Get Your Book Written. And I help people with writing, with finding those words to write their story. But it's also a healing journey. It's not, it heals their things for themselves, but also relationships it can heal. There's something magical that happens about writing your story and that physical action of writing. So that's where I support people. So what about you, Nomsa?
For me, I just leave you with my favorite words. Life is a journey. Life is a journey. Know that, embrace it. Embrace life and embrace the struggles, and know that life is a bumpy road that makes the ride worthwhile. When you embrace your struggles, is you discover who you are as a person, and it's a human experience, and you find strength and resilience that lies within. Without struggles, myself, I wouldn't have become the person that I am today, but I embraced the person that I was becoming. And today I know my strength, what my strengths are, and I know my weaknesses, and I'm embracing that journey. And if you look at myself, where I have been to where I am today, some people used to look at me like, when I'm quiet, they'll be like, oh, this is an ordinary person. People that I grew up with, they can tell you that they never thought that I could do things that I do today. But that's why I'm saying never judge yourself. I spoke about this yesterday, that when we say we are not enough, we are creating an altar of judgment. We are actually judging ourselves and putting ourselves in that altar of death, saying, I'm not enough. I can't do this. I cannot climb this mountain. It's just too much for me. But what if we change your mind and say, okay, Carol Ann says I'm not alone, and just call out that help and just say, God, wherever you are, even if you don't believe, even if you don't believe in him, just try to believe in that man. People always say, when they say, no, sir, how did you do this? And I'm like, it's Jesus. And they're like, who? Where do I find this guy? I'm like, Bible, go read the scriptures. Honestly, that's the only way for me that has helped me to understand how the universe works, how everything works in life. I'm not just saying it because I'm just telling you guys. If I can tell you the struggles that I've gone through, you will sit down and say, okay, so how did you manage to do that? It's just having that strength of just go through. I had two fathers in my life with my stepmom. They all decided to die and leave me with the responsibilities. So now I was like, so where do I go from here? But I had to find strength, and I became a man in my family to help my siblings. And whenever they cry out, whenever they can't go on, I just have to be there to tell them that everything is going to be okay. And that's how life is. Sometimes we find strength and we find our weaknesses. We just have to find that hope that can take us to where we can find our true strength and resilience within. So you can find me on social media, guys. I am everywhere, as I live here every day. So if you message me and you cannot find me, come to my life. That's where I live. I'm here for 1 hour. I come here for 1 hour every day. So you don't have to worry about where to find me. If you email me and I don't reply your email, I don't return your message on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, just come and hang out. Monday to Friday, Ngozi talk shows. Or if you need coaching, guys, just get in touch. We are just, if you need coaching with love, or if you need coaching to find your own voice, business, whatever you need, we've got it there. And for me, I am the example of the people that know me. They know that sometimes I used to hang out with them, but I wouldn't show them who I am because I didn't want to intimidate people. So I just hang out with people to give them strength so that they can find that strength. I motivate them and then I'm gone. So just if you need coaching, Carol Ann, and we have other coaches as well. And we have a page. When the website goes up, we have a page where you can go and book simply for coaching, not looking for love. There's a page for love and page for booking, so you can book coaching. If you want somebody to coach you, there are coaches there. You can choose who you want them to coach you, and just live this life of understand the struggles of life. You have to take action. Without action, dreams are not born. So if you want dreams to be born, you got to learn to climb. Live with grace, everyone, and God bless. Have a beautiful weekend. God bless. Okay,